Miller, John, we got a special guest with us today.
Welcome back, the big guy.
That's right. You are our first repeat guest, Arnold Adams.
Oh, first time for everything.
Yeah,
good. You get a prize.
So, Arnold, you recently, a couple weeks ago, actually, you got inducted into the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame.
Facts.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
Where does that come from?
What do you mean? Where's that
Well,
come from?
I mean, usually people get inducted into the Hall of Fame after their fighting career is over.
Right.
So, what was the?
Are they telling you that you're done?
Right.
They're like, thank you.
when they told me about it, originally I was like, okay, cool. But then I thought about it, like, you know what? This seems a little watered down. Like, I've only had 3 bare knuckle fights. How can I put me in the Hall of Fame just yet? But then Scott broke it down. He was like, well, you're the first person to have this belt since John L. Sullivan had it in 1889. I was like, okay, well, fine. I get it. That makes sense.
Honestly, that's like when I saw that you got the award, that's kind of like what I was thinking too. I'm like, honestly, man, let's just say if one of us were to pass, within 20 years, people aren't going to be remembering our name. However, legacy is everything.
It is.
And for you to even be considered, even to be on that ballot, is pretty.
That's very true. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that could have been on there, but they're not. So.
No, that's good, man. Yeah. And how was your overall experience?
The overall experience was dope. The town maybe has 200 people in it, but it's focused on bare knuckle boxing. Like, there's one stop sign one stoplight in the whole town.
That's cool. Kind of how it is, though. Like even like Cooperstown, baseball.
Yeah. But it's like, it was in the middle of the woods in the hills. Like, it was maybe 20 minutes off the main road. So we get there, and it's like, it's an eerie feeling.
How'd you get there?
I drove.
I drove.
Like we were going to fly, but I was like, it'll cost too much to fly and get a rental, because it was literally it was an hour from Buffalo and an hour from Rochester. Those are closer airports.
Okay.
So it was a 7-hour drive, I believe.
Ain't bad, man.
Yeah, not at all. We made the drive, got there, left out the middle of the night, got there that morning, did the whole ceremony. Got my ring, which is dope.
That's crazy.
It's like a Super Bowl ring. It has my name on it, BKFC. The state, it's diamond out, everything. I was like, wow, this is like really official here. This is some real stuff.
I'm thinking too, because I tend to follow all that stuff. I think because this whole class essentially was modern day.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it's going to be they were going to start kind of doing like throwback names after this.
Facts.
One modern day.
Right.
Right. They kind of started this ways.
Yeah, just to kind of like
breathe a little life in.
Right, rejuvenate it, put it back in the shine that it once had back in the day. But the town, they accepted me with open arms. Like, you're the modern day champion. Oh, it's nice to meet you. I'm so proud of you. You did it.
Up, man.
50.
That's it.
That's it. It's really there's a lot of Amish people there.
Well, we also got to look at it this way. I mean, the last real bare knuckle fight was 1912. So, you got to breathe some life into it,
true.
man.
That's
you
true.
really do.
That's true. But, since then, I've seen there's people who have, made the trip just to see the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame and see what it's about from. I saw Scott. There was somebody that came from Florida. A couple came from Florida. A couple came from Maine. They're coming. It's growing. But, the sport is going to take some time.
Yeah. It's not like they used him to sort of, help inject some interest back into it, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
I went with your boy Montel Griffin about 3-4 years ago. I went to the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And
Vegas?
No, it was in Albany.
Okay,
so
right.
We flew into Syracuse.
Yeah, there's 2.
Yeah. We flew into Syracuse, and man, it was a good time, man. We're hanging out with Parnell Whitaker in the bar.
I could imagine that the Boxing Hall of Fame would be a big event because
okay, but eventually,
that's how I feel. The bare knuckle, it's growing. And I'm seeing more and more comments, more likes, more shares. The fans are.
How's your social media about?
It's growing at a slow pace.
But you're not as active as a lot of the other fighters.
I am, but it's.
No. I'm talking in the ring.
No, I'm not.
Nah, they're not getting you the fights.
I'm not.
Well, we'll see.
It's been almost 10 months.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because you got a fight coming up, right?
I do. Thank you. Finally.
You've been begging him for a while.
I mean, I've had an open invitation. I'm calling people out. I'm tweeting, Facebook, Instagram. Nobody's responding. So I'm like,
you trying to do some internet beefs?
I'm like, man, are they scared? Like, I'm really like, I said something about one guy's mom and his child, not his mom, his wife and his child. I mean, like, I was really going at people, but nobody was responding. It's like, I train just like you. I bleed. I take pain just like you.
Okay, so you were originally scheduled for Shoemaker.
No, I was scheduled for Alejandro.
Oh, Alejandro, I apologize.
Solozano, right?
Yeah, Solozano. Right. He fought in Cancun.
Facts. I guess I talked too much shit about him.
He was scared.
Yeah, and they were like, let's get him out of here. Let's get him somebody who can really fight. So they gave me Chase Sherman now. UFC vet. I don't really know too much about him. 13 wins, 12 knockouts. That's
so
strong.
He's got hands. What he doing is he's a 1-0 fighter in bare knuckle, right?
No, he has a draw.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Sam Shoemaker.
Right. You're right.
Here's the thing. Like, I was there. I went.
Okay.
And I think we were supposed to meet, but I think you had some scheduling issues.
Too busy for us.
And he's an athlete, and he could definitely fight.
He was a D2 college lineman.
Yeah, he's a 100% athlete.
Oh yeah.
And he's also like a hometown guy.
Oh yeah.
He's a Iberville.
So
he's from the area.
So like
you're be prepared to get thrown, pop at.
Yeah, I hear it. I hear it.
It was bad.
Yeah,
I hear it.
Embrace it though, dude.
But I'm not gonna. I know it's gonna happen when I get in there, and I'm ready for it. But if it does happen, it usually turns out bad for my opponent. I'm not gonna say what it is because I can see a word getting out and everyone change what they're gonna do. No, I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'll wait for when we're done recording. I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean,
all right, we're done recording.
I mean, you watched the Shoemaker, or you watched the Shoemaker fight.
I did. I bought it.
Okay, so what was your opinion of that fight?
Sam looked better.
Sam won that fight, man.
I mean, he was more active. His defense. Sam shocked me with his defense. I mean, he was slipping, he was rolling, he was making Chase miss, and he was jabbing. I was like, "Whoa, Sam! Really? He's really coming in too." I felt Sam won, but they called it a draw. Maybe it was because of
that was a hometown decision.
Exactly.
Let's just call it what it is.
And
I respect both guys.
As I say, I'm not going to take anything away from Chase. It was his first time, his first dance, bare knuckle. It's completely different than anything else.
He sold a lot of tickets that night too.
I could imagine.
You heard it. You heard the pop.
Yeah, this is his town. What's that? 20-minute drive for them, if that. Yeah, so I expect a solid crowd for this one too. But I'm not Sam Shoemaker.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'd be very careful about taking this to a decision. Because if this gets to a decision, you should be concerned. Based on what I saw and the result of that Shoemaker fight, he didn't win that fight.
I didn't think he did either.
No, he definitely.
I wasn't expecting a draw. I was like, whoa, a draw?
That was a gift draw.
Okay. But now at the same time, Sam was pop-shotting. Chase was actually throwing multiple punches, 4, 5, 6 punches at a time. It wasn't consistent, but when he did come, it was 4 or 5. It was multiple punches.
But he wasn't landing.
No. And it was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get a participation
You're missing on Sam Shoemaker here. Wait a minute. Like, Sam, he's not that. He's not the elusive guy. He's not the defensive-minded guy. So the fact that Sam was making you miss says a lot.
Yeah. I was kind of... I remember leaning over to the people next to me going, man, dude, that was a gift decision. He's lucky he got out of there with the draw. I mean, you gotta take that mental note, man.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely do. You gotta look, and you gotta look back at it and see what was going on. What didn't go the way it should have went.
How many times have you watched that fight?
At least 10. I only had it a week.
You taking notes on it or no?
Some, and then I've sent it out to a lot of my boxing pals.
Well, he certainly has got he's got 3 fights of yours that he's studying.
3, I don't know, because they're not on the fight app. You can't find them on the fight app. I tried to Google them. I think the only one that's coming up now is the first fight I had with Linderman. I didn't see the Beltran fight.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe they took it down. They take them down. They swap them out from time to time.
That's weird.
And I couldn't find. I had to search for their fight.
Sorry, could you move your mic down just a hair?
I had to search to find their fight.
Really?
Yeah. Like I really had to search on the app. And then, if I'm not mistaken, this next fight is not on the fight app.
You know what? They're streaming it free.
That's cool. I'll take that. That now more people can watch it and not have to worry about, I don't want to pay this money. Let me check this out and see what this is all about.
You know, it's real easy to sit here and just kind of throw shade on things.
Mm-hmm.
But for $30, man, it's absolutely worth it.
I thought it was. I mean, like, you can pay 60, 70, 80 bucks
the
for
amount of entertainment you're getting,
and you might enjoy the card.
Yeah.
UFC, the big boxing, you might enjoy it. You might get your money's worth. The bare knuckle boxing, you're gonna get your money's worth.
Yeah, Nate Shook is doing a good job.
It's $30. Yeah. You're gonna get your money's worth.
Yeah, Nate's doing a good job. Yeah,
you spent more on less, and we're disappointed about it.
I can't agree more. Yeah, no, I can't agree more, man. I think he's doing a really good job.
So Arnold, why do you think he didn't get Shoemaker? I mean,
that's the rematch that they've been kind of.
That's what I thought. I thought
he's been the most active MMA or most active fighter in the organization is him.
Well, I heard.
Here we go.
That he might not be in the organization anymore.
Well,
I think that was a rumor. I think I read that online as well.
I was going to say that's a possibility of why I didn't get him. Well, Feldman told me himself, like, that's not a fight the fans want to see. And I get it.
Well, I want to see it.
Well, I don't. I'll tell you this. Really? No. Dude, look at Shoemaker's last 3 fights. They're terrible.
I mean, I like to see him go at it again with Arnold Adams because I thought
those are the best too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here, if you want to talk about like in terms of like ranking and stuff like that, they have given Shoemaker so many opportunities to kind of turn that corner and prove them wrong. To where, Arnold Adams, they haven't.
Yeah.
But every single person that's been in the ring with Shoemaker has had the same outcome. Like his style of fighting isn't really exciting.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it would have been a nice way to sort of stop the conversations.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, so you wouldn't hear
what do you think of his style?
It's not. His style is that shot, that right hand. That's his style. That's what made him blow up. That's what made him. Well, that's what gave him so much attention. The very first fight, Eric Prindle, boom, right hand sends.
Eric Prindle's a monster.
He's huge, and I mean, you see Sages, and then he fires it from hell, and to hell, Eric Prindle went.
Well, but Shoemaker had a couple of fights where he looked in shape, but he really wasn't. Like in Mexico, he was not in shape.
He definitely wasn't in shape.
But he looked in shape, but he wasn't.
Yeah, you could tell. And his breathing is off. So people understand in combat sports, every little thing matters. You're breathing that in and out of your mouth. That's not it. Mm-hmm. You have to learn in through your nose, out through your mouth.
Yeah.
Timing, everything is timing in combat sports. And if you don't have that timing down, it's gonna throw you off.
So you don't have an extensive boxing background?
Not at all.
A professional boxing background, obviously.
I don't have any, not even an amateur background. I don't have not one amateur fight.
So where does your knowledge of breathing and understanding of boxing come from? Because yours is pretty advanced.
Just being a competitor in general. Like I wrestled in high school, played football. You learn all this stuff as you grow it. It takes years, but you have to be a student. You can't just do this just to be doing it. You have to pay attention and notice, okay, when I was doing this or whatever, this didn't work out too well for me, or my muscles were tightening up. I wasn't breathing. You have to pay attention to everything. You have to be a student. You can't progress in combat sports and not be a student.
So what about like sparring and stuff like that? If
I pay attention to it all. Yesterday when I was sparring, I think we did 15 rounds.
Jeez. Who you sparring with?
Guys that nobody knows.
Okay.
Nobody knows, but they're heavyweights. But when I tell you, if they were to compete, they'd be a problem. Okay. But they're bodyguards, so they're training and they learned for the job, not to compete in the combat sports.
Did you have them watching some of that last Chase Sherman fight so they can kind of mimic his style?
Them? No. I've never had anyone mimic a style. I don't. Because then at that point you start looking for what that person's going to do. Okay. You trained on that so much, you're going to look for that, and you're going to get hit with something else. I'd rather go in with an open mind, just know that he's got this movement, or he's a defensive fighter.
The whole present itself.
Exactly.
Run through it. Okay.
And then I fill him out as the round goes on.
Are you doing anything different for this training camp compared to the other ones?
Well, I lied. I've gotten more interaction with Steve this time.
That's going to be a good thing.
Huh?
Oh, yes, that's going to be a huge difference. Like the tournament, it was mostly me, doing everything on my own. But now I got more training partners. I got more of my Team Cologne family involved, and we're pushing right now.
That's good.
We're pushing.
No, it's a good guy to have in your corner, man.
Yeah,
we've said this plenty of times before, man. Having Steve in your corner it's an advantage.
It is.
You know what's kind of strange? It's you got Steve Cologne, who's an MMA gym, and he's producing a lot of high-end boxers right now.
Well, I asked Steve after the tournament, I was like, how do you feel about taking the boxing lane? He was like, well, that was my original love. I started off boxing.
Dude, he used to box at the Gary PAL, which is where Angel Manfredi and all those guys.
Yeah, he introduced me to Angel some years back too.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. He's old school, man.
Yeah. But if you met Steve today, you think he was a wrestler. You think he was a wrestler, and that's all he ever wanted to push. I didn't know he was a boxer.
So he's cool with you going boxing then? If you want to go boxing,
well, that's what he's.
Look at the gym.
Look at the gym.
It's actually
it's like a boxing gym, right?
They got here we go. Do you know how many MMA gyms here in the entire Midwest that's got some sort of world champion attached to it in a boxing match and a Golden Gloves winner in it? No, they don't. Yeah. No, they don't exist. It's just, you'd be hard to find that in the entire country, let alone here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Right. Name one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now. Aside from
no, I mean it's like he's producing Golden Glove winners. Like generally speaking, like when you go into tournaments like that, the deck tends to be stacked against you before you even walk in. It's not an MMA gym. It's okay,
Yes.
I mean, the scorecards might as well be filled out already.
Yes, they look at MMA fighters like, oh no, I got this. I mean, I do it.
But you know what? There's some truth to that too. Like a lot of these MMA guys, they're approaching boxing in a way to where, no, I know how to throw a punch. I can throw a hard punch, but dude, there is a huge level difference between MMA.
I found
and
it
boxing
when I went to Mayweather's. My first day there, they wanted me just working on the technical aspect of throwing a proper punch, turning it over, putting your shoulders and turning from the hips. And I felt that day my entire back and my upper body was sore from just throwing
different
proper
muscles.
It is. Yeah. MMA were more square. Boxing, you have that angle, but you have to turn when you throw your punches, and it's a world of difference.
So, how long ago were you in Mayweather's show?
I moved to Vegas 2016.
Yeah.
Summer 2016. Was out there until April 2018.
Were you working out in the boxing gyms?
I was at Mayweather's gym almost every day.
That's cool.
Who were you seeing coming in and out of there?
His old man probably a lot too.
Oh yes, Senior was there on a. He has fighters that he's training, so he was there every day. I've seen a lot of great trainers come through there. A lot of great fighters. People I wanted to meet never came, or I wasn't there when they came.
We like fanboying out.
I mean,
and I miss Lennox.
I mean, AJ came through there once, and the day he came,
Anthony Joshua.
Yes, the day he came
from Europe.
Yes,
flew in.
He came to Vegas. He was in. There was a fight going on that weekend. He was in town for a couple of days. He came to the gym. Looked like a tourist when he came in, but everybody knew who he was when he got there.
I missed that day, huh?
Yeah,
I missed that day.
Yeah.
Tyson came. I missed that day, but I caught Shannon Briggs, Larry Holmes.
Man, Shannon Briggs. Whoa!
I didn't realize how big he was.
Yeah.
Like he's in the picture with me like this, and I'm under his armpit. But I was like,
let's
go,
champ. You ever see the videos of him just calling
let's go,
out the
champ.
tally?
Yep.
Yeah, those are so hilarious.
That's it.
Those are so hilarious.
It made me wonder, like, are they acting? Like, are they scripted?
That's all Briggs, man.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely his character, but like, it was like everywhere he went, Briggs was right there.
They're great.
The thing
They're
is,
so great.
With the Klitschko's, like, you got the right people to do that too, because they're gonna I'm not gonna mess up a payday. You know what I mean? And you got Briggs going,
right. When you eat, I eat, champ. Come on, let's go, champ. He's digging his hand in his
dog behind the fence. Yeah, they're not afraid to bark.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's him. That's definitely.
So, are you following the heavyweight division right now in boxing?
For the most part. Where you going with this?
Man, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Come on, bro.
2?
Hey. Come on, man. Don't even. You ain't.
I mean, but it's like
it's
it's boring. It's
what?
boring. Because it's gonna be they're trying to
cut.
Nobody likes. Well, I look at things differently. Like they're trying to sell it. It's like the whole Mayweather Pacquiao thing. They're trying to build the hype. They're trying to sell the fight on, and I get it.
Well, you saw the first one.
I did, and it was like, why wasn't Fury throwing punches? Like I get it. He was making a miss, but like you're here to win the fight. Why are you playing and dancing? Like the Showtime,
Fury, dude.
This is a serious fight though. Like the other guys, I get it. They're not on your level. They're smaller. You know they can't hurt you. Cool. This man is not. He's not to be played with. Yeah, he's not a technical boxer, but his power's there. He has enough boxing to touch you. As we saw, he sat him down 3 times.
I think
2
twice.
or 3?
Twice, yeah.
Okay, he sat him down 2 times in a fight, and it was a draw. Correct?
It was a draw. Yeah.
Now I feel like hadn't he took that fight serious, he probably would have won. He may not have got dropped at all. Fury might have won.
I thought he won the fight, even though he got dropped.
And I didn't even watch. I watched half the fight.
It's tough to say something like that versus a guy like Deontay Wilder, though, man. You know what I mean? It's tough.
Well, the thing with Wilder is, and like you said, he's in order for him to push through, he's got to get some discipline, and he's got to listen to somebody. He's got Mark Breland as a trainer who, Olympic coach. The guy's just a badass, and he's got to start listening. And that's going to be hard. Deontay, with every fight, he's getting bigger.
Yeah,
and what he's been doing all these years has got him to where he is. It's going to be hard,
right? It's hard to break it.
He's got really no amateur background. I mean, he won a bronze medal with
but that
10,
was
15 fights.
That was out of fear
and athleticism.
And I tell people that all the time. It's fear and athleticism. If you're beat mentally before you get into a fight, you've already lost. As soon as you take a punch, you're gonna, it hurts. It really hurts. You're not gonna give your all. You're gonna look timid. You're gonna throw rabbit punches, short punches, and they're not gonna contact. That's how he won. That's how he got his medal. And then he grew. But even like his first
he was
20 or 30 something fights as a pro, they were cans.
But that's boxing.
That is boxing.
Yeah,
that is. But then
boxing.
It's still. He's 6'7". He's dark. He looks like a gorilla. Like that's intimidation.
He's a monster.
And he's talking. He talks a lot. He's
phenomenal.
He's got it figured out.
He's a modern day Mike Tyson.
He's got it figured out.
He is a modern day Mike Tyson in terms of power, specimen. Obviously, he's more well spoken.
Yeah, the way
Mike.
I mean, Mike knew how to trash talk the opponents.
He's an educated guy.
Wilder did too.
Yeah. And like the thing about Wilder too is like that backstory with his daughter. It's almost it's the stuff kind of movies are made of.
Yeah, Tyson had the same thing with the daughter too. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's a fun time to be a boxing fan, combat sports fan. In general.
It's on the rise. Everything. Well, combat sports been here, but with the bare knuckle and now everything is like, oh, we got options. Yeah. Now even the bare knuckle is growing now.
Yeah,
there's multiple bare knuckle organizations.
Valor just grew out of the ground, right?
Like, damn, y'all couldn't wait for Feldman to kick this door open because as soon as he opened it in Wyoming, you saw 6 promotions pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah, but some of those guys were just.
Yeah, they're not going to be around in a year or two.
What do you think about Valor? You think that's got a little bit of a chance or what?
I have never heard of this.
Valor is
Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock's promotion.
Here's the thing with Shamrock. I respect him.
I do too.
Guy's a legend.
Absolutely.
Now that we've separated that from the conversation, I can actually tell you my real thoughts. He's one of those guys that doesn't make the wisest of business decisions. So, he might get approached with an idea, sign a piece of paper, do it. The guys might have some money, but the money that's needed in order to make something like this a success is, you're talking like 10, 12 million.
You got to have some strong backings if you don't have
to lose that.
Right. They got an event coming up, I think, in one of the Dakotas. I think in September.
Were they going to South Dakota?
Most likely to be south.
Yeah, with all that fracking money out there.
It'll probably be south.
The guys need to do something, right?
One thing I will say about Feldman is that his fit and finish is really good. I mean, his shows, when you watch the videos of his shows, it looks like the UFC, it looks like HBO Boxing, it looks like ESPN.
Well, I mean,
anybody who comes in who's fit and finished, if it doesn't shine like a new penny, dude, forget about it.
He's been around though. He had I believe he had a boxing and MMA promotion in Pennsylvania. So he's not new to it. He's got his experience and his background, and he knows the ropes.
In Cancun, they had a local promoter out there that was press releasing that the event was canceled.
Really?
Yeah, like in the newspapers were picking it up. So
wow.
like he went into Cancun. That venue, I mean, to say it was empty is an understatement, and that's not me disparaging the product because that event was phenomenal.
Okay,
but like the powers that be locally, like they were shaking him down like I have never seen.
Really,
like last minute bribes that we're canceling your event. I mean, the type of thing that the things that he was dealing with at that would take years off of your life.
Well, like the first show. In Cheyenne, he was catching a lot of heat like that.
I can see it.
I guess the biker gangs, they do their own bare knuckle stuff out there. So it got to a point they had 24-hour detail on Feldman. They had bomb dogs. Like he was getting some real serious threats.
Wow. And the way he was able to kind of maneuver, I mean, he had a big stadium, phenomenal product.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great fight card. And, I mean, he'd turn off the lights in certain areas. He'd move the crowd over in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the type of moves that he was making was very advanced.
Experience.
Nah, I mean, it was like the little things that you go, oh, man, maybe next time we should do this or that. He was on top of it. So, yeah, okay. I mean, in terms of, like, finish and polish.
Yeah, give credit where credit's due.
100%.
Okay.
And to even have to deal with what it is he dealt with in Mexico is, I mean, it was... I couldn't imagine.
It takes a special type of talent to do what he did and what he does.
I agree.
Not everybody can do it.
No, I respect him. Yeah, I respect him. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I know in that Biloxi fight, he got some heat for kind of calling a fighter out for not fighting.
Oh, did he?
But I mean, he backtracked. He paid the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was for show. I'm pretty sure it was all for show. But you have to. You have to crack a whip sometimes because people they don't want the contact.
Right. You got to be a little more strategic, and I think he learned a lesson that way. And you know what, man? Everyone was pissed off at him,
and everybody was talking about it too. So I mean, it's like bad press is still press. You know what I mean? It's
that's very true. It's still press, and it gets people. What he did? What?
But
I laughed when I
he
heard it.
He threatened to do it, but he didn't do it. And hey, I'll bet you, if he could do it over. He probably would.
No, he wouldn't.
You don't think so?
I know he wouldn't.
Okay.
He probably would.
Jude, are you aware of what was being said about him?
Yeah.
On some of the largest talk shows?
I don't think he
Joe Rogan.
I know Joe Rogan shit all over him, too. Yeah. But the thing is, though, Joe Rogan wouldn't have talked about it. Joe Rogan. If he wouldn't have said that?
Yeah.
You think so?
No, I know he would have.
He would have gave Feldman...
I listened to those podcasts. So they were talking about it before. And they were all said, man, we were trying to get on board with this, and they went on a tirade. So, I mean, what you're saying is, under normal circumstances, I would agree with you.
So you
think what you're saying is not right.
Rogan would have brought it up anyway.
Oh, wait, hold up. Rogan did bring it up prior to the event. So what you're trying to say is that it wouldn't have got brought up. No, it was actively being talked about.
Yeah, they talk about bare knuckle on
so,
that show.
I mean, it's just like, what you're saying is like that set of circumstances... Okay. It doesn't fit in.
Oh, yeah, he's an advocate for bare knuckle. He said it on his show many times that it is a safer sport than gloved.
Yeah, glove boxing. And it is.
Prime example. What's the guy's name that just passed?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, two guys just passed.
Yeah, so Maxim Dadashev and it was Hugo. Was it Santillan? One guy was in Argentina, and the other one was at the MGM Grand.
And it's funny. You have fans who complain, "Oh, that was a horrible stoppage," but this is why they're making these stoppages because things like this happen.
Oh, but really think about this, Buddy McGirt. He just got elected into the Hall of Fame. Okay, so less than a month later, from getting elected into the Hall of Fame as a trainer, he's in between rounds going, "Man, this guy isn't reacting right. I'm going to send him out there one more round." Sends him out there one more round. Doctors, who knows what they're doing, probably on their phones or doing whatever it is. Not paying attention. The trainer says, you know what? I don't like how he's reacting.
You're done.
I'm going to stop this fight. The fighter is, no, one more. Goes back to the locker room, passes out. They send him to the hospital. They attributed Buddy McGirt for saving his life, and the guy later passes.
Yep.
Can you imagine it? You could just the apex of your career. You are in the Hall of Fame right now. Mm-hmm. Do you know how special that is?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
a month after he goes into the Hall of Fame, this happens. I mean, he sees it. That's
a guy he cares about. Literally,
he sees it. He's like, no, something's not right. No more. And they showed the clip. He's like, no, just one more round, one more. Let me go. He was like, no, you're done. Please, for me, give it up. I'm throwing in the towel. He didn't. As a fighter, I understand it because you want to go out there. You're
a warrior.
You're a warrior, and you're not going to quit under no circumstances. No.
And you're willing to die in there.
You are. He was.
You know, and it is, and I hate to say it like that, but it's true. Anytime you step through that ring, you accept everything that comes with it.
Yeah, and you know it can get bad.
And that's what makes you you. Yeah. Well, what's your feelings on that, man?
From a fighter?
Yeah.
It makes you reevaluate everything. Like, the trainer was able to tell what was going on, but the fighter, his heart was so big that he just did not want to listen.
Yeah, I don't think you want to let anybody down, you know. When you're
and I get, like, especially if this is a big fight, I understand it.
You got a guy from Dagestan, man.
I understand it.
You know?
I understand it, but man, if you don't have it in yourself to be like, yo, I'm not feeling too well right now. Maybe I need to. You need to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Figure something out fast because it's not going to work out well for you. But seeing that happen, I'm like, man, if ever Steve tells me, you know what, then fine. That's what it is.
What are you going to do? Are you going to argue with Steve Cologne?
No, I'm not. I mean,
how many fights you're going to argue?
Let's be real. We're gonna. No, Steve, I got one more. No, let's finish it. But seeing how these guys are just dropping,
it's always in twos too, man. Like, and you know what's even crazier? I just watched a documentary about Gerald McClellan. So back in like '95, Gerald McClellan had a fight against African dude Nigel Benn, I want to say. And he got brain damaged and lived. But he's
doing vegetable.
Oh man, dude, his sister, every time he uses the bathroom, has to clean him. And dude, let me tell you something. That woman loves him.
You have to.
A lot of this though is not from the actual fights; it's sparring. When these boxers spar, they're swinging 110% every time. I've been in the gyms and watched it.
Really?
MMA sparring, most of the gyms I've been to, it's controlled sparring. It's for technique and learning purposes. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I got hit. Let me figure out what he did. Let me make this adjustment. I've seen these boxers try to take heads off and they're glorified for it in sparring. Like, this is a training partner. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be training right now. You're not supposed to be trying to take his head off because what's that going to do for you in a fight? You keep taking all your training partners' heads off. You're not getting no training.
Right.
You're not getting.
Make them scared.
You're not getting no proper sparring, and you go in there and that's not how it's supposed to be. And that's where a lot of this brain damage is coming from. Not from the fights, it's from sparring. I got my headgear on, I'm safe, I'm protected. No,
it's different.
No, now you're just you're a bobblehead in the gym.
A lot of it too, like when you really kind of look at it, no one's really kind of breaking it down. But if you really were to look at it, and this is just my experience as a fan, very rarely do you ever see a heavyweight that this happens to. And it's because there's not a lot of weight cutting. So a lot of people are hydrated. Like 1FC in Europe, they have like a hydration test.
Nice.
Here we go. I deal with commissions. I deal with the Indiana Commission. I deal with the Illinois Commission. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I have nothing but positive things to say about them. And it's not because I have active licenses there. I literally have nothing but nice things to say about both those commissions. Okay. And sometimes, like when you go to these events, they want their $35 fee to corner. They want your blood test. They got a CAT scan. Sometimes these CAT scans are good for 5 years, but nothing's centralized. Like when an issue like Maxim happens, he goes to the hospital, and it's like, okay, well, where's his history at? Where's it at? Well, here's the folder that we got. Okay, but what about the folder from last month?
And the other states,
before that. Like if
there's no network,
there needs. I mean, come on, man! It's a digital age. Things needs to be.
Instant access.
Yeah, instant access, especially when trying to review a history and kind of understanding and what they went through.
Same way they make the fighters get the national ID, they should have something with.
Here's your database, man. Let's just pull from here. Let's, if there's any blips or there could be something there that a doctor, it might not have been significant for the doctor at that point.
Right.
But at this stage in the game, it is.
Right.
And it doesn't exist.
Not yet. It could be.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Right. Who knows? After hearing this, somebody might look into it.
I can see it.
How could it not? It's 2019.
Facts. Everything is available.
Yeah. Here, just put it right into this little file. Everybody has access to it that needs it. If it's got to get printed by, the commission, they could do that or email it to the hospital, the doctor at the hospital.
Like the blood work. When we go get our blood work done, that's in a database. You can go pull that up.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not through the commission.
I mean, it's not right.
That's through like Norvell or anywhere else that you took it at.
Yeah. But it's
but it exists.
It exists. It's there. Like it's there.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Like it's you kind of like this Cheryl McClellan documentary. Like his sister, man, what just an amazing human being, and they do fundraisers for him every year. And she talks to him, and it's bringing him through it. What happened? And 20 years later, he's still asking what happened. And it's like, oh man, it breaks my heart, man.
What's that movie? 50 First Dates.
Yeah, it's what? Like we're joking around about it, but that's what it is.
But that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
51st every day.
Funny to watch, over a 3-hour period or 2.5-hour period, but 24 hours, it's a little rough. Yeah.